Alex assured of P5.9M in Aussie Open. Update: even an early tournament exit would still have Alex, Ila and her team cashing in at the Australian Open, AO, where the Filipino netter will make her main draw debut. Ila will secure $150,000 Australian dollars or roughly P5.9 million prize money for a first-round appearance at the first major of the year. Of course, the prize gets higher the deeper the round Ila reaches, with the peak coming at 4.15 million Australian dollars or more than P165 million for the champion. Alex Ila assured of P5.9M prize money at Australian Open. Running from January 12 to February 1, the Australian Open offers a record 111.5 million Australian dollar prize pool or P4.4 billion. That is a 16% increase from last year's prize pool of 96.5 million Australian dollars and the largest in tournament history. This 16% increase demonstrates our commitment to supporting tennis careers at every level, Tennis Australia CEO Craig Tiley said in a report by the AO website. From boosting qualifying prize money by 55% since 2023 to enhancing player benefits, we're ensuring professional tennis is sustainable for all competitors. Ila's build-up for her AO main draw debut began with the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand. The 20-year-old competes at the doubles and singles divisions, getting past her opponents in the opening rounds of both categories. Ila and American partner Iva Jovic took down the American-Ukrainian tandem of Venus Williams and Elena Svitolina 7-6, 7, 6-1, in the doubles side on Monday to reach the quarterfinals. The following day, Ila pulled the rug from under Croatian Dana Vekic 4-6, 6-4, 6-4 to enter the round of 16 in the singles division. After the ASB Classic, which will end on January 11th, Ila will swing back to action for an exhibition at the Kooyong Classic in Melbourne from January 13th to 15th. Alex and the price of a first serve. Under the merciless Australian sun, the hard court shimmered like a sheet of glass. The blue surface of Melbourne Park reflected more than heat, it mirrored the weight of expectation pressing down on a young athlete named Alex. P5.9 million. The number followed Alex everywhere, as persistent as the rhythm of bouncing tennis balls echoing through the corridors of the Australian Open. It was whispered by reporters, flashed in headlines, and debated endlessly online. For many, it was just prize money, a conversion of foreign currency into something familiar. For Alex, it was proof that years of sacrifice had finally found a voice loud enough for the world to hear. The assurance came before the first serve was even struck. Just stepping onto the Australian Open stage meant Alex had already secured P5.9 million. To some, that sum symbolized instant success. To Alex, it felt like a receipt for pain already paid in full. The long road to Melbourne. Success never arrived suddenly. It crept in quietly, disguised as early mornings and lonely nights. Alex remembered the cracked courts back home, where the paint peeled and the nets sagged like tired shoulders. Training sessions often began before sunrise, when the world was still asleep and doubt felt loudest. There were days when quitting felt reasonable. Friends went to parties, classmates planned futures far from baseline rallies and tie-break tension. Alex chose repetition instead, forehands until the arm burned, serves until the palm blistered, footwork drills until breath came in ragged gasps. The dream of the Australian Open wasn't about money back then. It was about belonging. About standing on the same ground as legends whose posters once hung crookedly on bedroom walls. The weight of a number. Now that dream carried a price tag. P5.9 million meant security, for family, for coaches who believed early, for the quiet promise that tennis could be more than just passion. It meant headlines back home, pride swelling across borders, and the sudden realization that Alex was no longer playing only for self. But money has a strange way of amplifying pressure. As Alex sat in the locker room, tying shoelaces with deliberate calm, the noise outside felt distant. Cameras waited. Fans gathered. Somewhere, accountants and analysts were already calculating what this tournament meant financially. Alex inhaled deeply. The money was real, but so was the moment. Stepping onto the court. When Alex finally walked onto the court, applause rolled in like a wave. The air buzzed with electricity, The kind that makes skin prickle and heartbeats quicken. This was the Australian Open, not a dream, not a highlight reel, but reality unfolding point by point. The first serve cracked against the racket strings, clean and fearless. With every rally, Alex felt lighter. The number faded. P5.9 million dissolved into sweat, focus, and instinct. There was only the ball now, its spin, its bounce, its stubborn refusal to be tamed. Wins and losses would come later. Critics would analyze form, ranking, and potential. But in that moment, Alex was free. Free from numbers. Free from currency conversions. Free from the idea that success could be measured so neatly. Beyond the prize money. No matter how the tournament would end, one truth was already secured. The Australian Open had given Alex more than money, it had given validation. P5.9 million could fund training, support family, and open doors long closed. But its true value lay elsewhere. It stood as a symbol that dreams born far from center court could still echo inside the world's biggest arenas. As Alex walked off the court, sweat-soaked and smiling, the crowd rose once more. Somewhere between the cheers and the flashing lights, Alex understood something quietly profound. The money was assurance. The moment was everything. And this was only the beginning.